Well, hello there, friends and family. As you can see, we're out in Alice today. Yes, we are, on January the 11th, 2024. So glad to see you again. Hey, let's stop here for a second and let y'all jump in. Now, y'all behave and buckle up, because we're going to take a little ride in the countryside, because some of you like that. And I do too at times. Because yes, it's wintertime in the deep south of Alabama. And maybe some of you haven't seen it. And yeah, it's not covered in snow. That's rarely ever going to happen, but we're so glad when it does. Here we go. Yep, just a little ride in the countryside to relax our mind. Ease our soul. See the sights. It won't take long. So yep, I know there's a bunch of you in here. So there's always room. You know where you go. In the rumble seat, in the trunk. Ooh, the woods are looking a little quiet and kind of sparse. Then finally, with our low temperatures we've seen, most of the leaves have finally decided to fall off. Not all, as you can see, but most have. You can still see some green. Plenty of wrecked cars to the right. Well, at least they're being recycled, and that's a plus. And that's where, not exactly here to say, but once they come pick up the Focus, which they said would be sometimes after the first of the year, they never said when. They said they'd notify me, which they haven't yet. Maybe we should give them an email or a call, but I really don't worry about all that. And I don't mind taking y'all all along, if you don't mind the ride. And along the way, we do a little commentary. But like I always say, if you don't want to hear the old man ramble on, just mute the volume, put on your favorite tunes, whether you like pop, rock, or country western, hip hop, or what have you. And just enjoy the scenery for what it is as we take a ride in the countryside. And I can see the county's been out clearing the right-of-ways with that big chopping machine. Yep. Sort of kind of makes a mess, in my opinion. But it is what it is. And that's how they clear off the power lines. Which I might say, we just had a couple of pretty violent nights with really bad storms, and for the first time in a long time, my power didn't go out. So, clearing back the power lines is a must. And just to put things in perspective, it's currently 63 degrees. Not too chilly, just about right. But we're hearing that come Monday and Tuesday, there's going to be another one of those Arctic blasts. Oh yeah. Everything is hyper sensationalized now, like it's never got in the 20s before. But they're saying we could even get down into the teens. And everything could freeze once more. You know, like it did last year. In December. When the South and most of the nation suffered through that Arctic blast for 7 to 10 days. And it wreaked havoc on the South. We had city water lines freeze up and bust. Many cities in the South ran out of water because all the pipes were busted. Yep. Fortunately for us, even though Tallahassee had some of that, we didn't have a lot. I never lost water, but I know many in the outlying areas here out in the county on the county water systems did for quite some time. And you can see with all the rain we just got, and we got, I think anywhere, depending on where you were at, in my place we got 5 inches. Not last night, but the night before. And that's a lot in one night. And you can see as we've been riding along, several driveways have been washed out onto the road. But I like taking a ride, especially out here in the countryside. You don't got to deal with the traffic, the people all in a hurry. Nope, there's not much of that. We can just sort of ease along, drive at our own speed. And yeah, the roads are a little bit bumpy, but that's okay too. It's sort of like, people pay money to get in one of them massage chairs. And I don't have to do that. I just get an Alice and head out on the country byways, and I get all the vibrating and shaking I need for little or nothing, because Alice gets great gas mileage. But we're brand new into the year, and I can't wait to see what it brings. And every year I'm full of hope for the year to be. So last year was a rough one, I'll give her that. But I'm thinking this year, if we try, we can make it better than the one before. Or at least that's going to be the plan. Sometimes, as you know, plans just don't work out. Will we be seeing prices still rise? Maybe so. There's not much I can do about it, and in all truth, not what much any single person can do about it. But I'll tell you a story about a country over in Europe that's making a stand. And you probably won't believe who it is. It's France. Yep, French. The French are pissed with inflation being so high. Yeah, they've been taken to the streets. So much so their government has noticed. And now their government is thinking and preparing to take action against the very corporations that have made it rise so high. And their thought is, like Mr. Tom's thought, that it's not because of fuel, wages, and all of that so much. It's more about profiteering and corporate greed. And I gotta agree. And they're looking at passing some bills to limit what these corporations can do if they don't voluntarily dial it all back. So I'm waiting to see, and all of you should be too, just how all that works out. It amazes me that in the land of the free, the good old US of A, we're not doing any of that. That gets back to one person can't change a thing. But millions can make it all change and get our government to wake up. But the sad fact of things is, here in America, we actually have a government agency created a long time ago for the very purpose of what we're seeing now. And that's called the FTC, the Federal Trade Commission. I think it is. And it's supposed to look into things like price gouging, profiteering, all of that kind of stuff. But apparently, for the last 10 years, and especially the last 2, it must be asleep or totally dead. Now, I sort of think there's another reason behind it all. There might be money involved, because often we'll find when our government agencies don't react and don't do like they're supposed to, it's often because they've been bought out. Don't you agree? So maybe, to wake them up, you know, we can send letters to the FTC telling them about the prices we see and how it just shouldn't be. We can tell them we're just plain damn mad and we're not going to take it anymore. We can send them emails. We can jam their phone lines. Can you imagine if all their phone lines were jammed and they couldn't make a call? Yeah, they'd get the message real fast. But Mr. Tom dialing the phone don't make much difference. Not one bit. But thousands, tens of thousands, 20 of thousands, hundreds of thousands or more. Oh, I'm sure they'd hear that knock on their door. And here you can see, I'm going to try to go around. Yep, he says I can. So here we go. And if you're wondering just what that is, yep, that's the big cutting machine. Clearing off the power lines. Like I said. He ain't too friendly there. I waved at him. He just kept talking to his sweetie on his cell phone. But I brought up another way we can fight this inflation. And that's just by not buying it anymore. It's just like this current rise in egg prices again that they're blaming on, you know, a few million chickens being killed. Even though, and if you haven't watched that video about the real reason egg prices went sky high last year, not 2023, but in 2022 into the first part of 2023, go back. In fact, I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll make it easy on you. If you watch till the end of my videos, there's always an end screen with some recommended videos for you. And I'll put it there. And hey, if I remember, please remind me before we get out to put it in the description below the video. Because as we found out in 2022, the end thereof, when I did the deep dive, and then many others did it too, it wasn't about 55 million chickens being killed in America. It was about corporate greed. Plain, fact, simple, data proven, right on their own bottom line spreadsheets. And they were quite proud. They duped us all. So they're back at it again. And once more, we're not seeing a thing from the FTC. Nope, nothing but silence. And when I bought eggs back in November the 7th at Walmart, they were $1.52 a dozen for a dozen large. Right now today, if I go, they're $2.80 a dozen. Imagine that. So we just hold back. Yeah, I love my eggs, but can I slim way down and eat few or none? Yes, I can. You know, in my last shopping video, which I want to thank you all for coming along. So many of you did. I wish more did, but I'm glad for those that do. You saw the price of cereal. It's just crazy. What can we do? Buy a little or buy none, unless it's on sale. And show them the power that we still have, the power of the consumer, to say no, we ain't going to take it anymore. The same is true with beef, and the list goes on and on. And I know for a lot of us, for me, for those that are disabled, seniors living on fixed incomes, and what have you, you know, the working poor, we're having to do it anyway. We're having to cut back. And it seems like we just have to cut back way more and more. And I just don't understand why we don't take a stand. I've tried to bring this up and stir y'all up, but it never seems to take hold. How much more can you cut back before you're not even eating enough to survive? People say grow a garden, just like magically you can do it for free. Nope, it don't happen that way. I wish it did. It takes money to do that, and the prices of seed, fertilizer, tools, and what have you, potting soil, compost, have also went sky high. So yeah, they're getting us at every end. Electric bills, insurance. Oh, let's don't talk about medical costs. And of course, you saw with our little tiny COLA we got, Social Security increase. Yep, Medicare went up. Who couldn't have predicted that? And we all know it happens every time. You know what I wound up getting? A raise in my Social Security that I worked all my life for, and I paid in. No, people, it's not a free entitlement. I paid in. Now, yeah, the government has programs that you can get on that are administered by the Social Security that you don't have to pay in. Pardon that, son, but that's part of out here driving around, enjoying it. Just throw on your shades like I am and keep driving on. But those are some of the things we can do. We can make a stand instead of just starving ourselves to death. The same way with our electricity. I'm still digging into that. And that brings back another point. You know, I used to do more deep dives than that. And I've sort of shied away from it. Because, you know, most of the times, somehow it seems, when you see all the talking heads talking about how shocking, you know, all those clickbait titles, and we're all going to die, and we're all going to starve, we're not going to have no bread, sugar, chocolate, coffee, and what have you, when I take a deep look into it, that just doesn't come out so true. Now, yeah, oh, there it is, the world famous, locally owned and locally operated Superfoods. Hey, we were just there yesterday, weren't we? And I had a great time with all of you. But yeah, I look into them, and I've been looking into one here of recent. I do more of it in the winter time when I'm not out and about so much. And that's about the state of our grains. Will we indeed have bread to eat in 2024? You know, in the winter of 2022, 2023, because of the Arctic blast, a whole bunch of mainstream and then social media too told us our winter wheat harvest was devastated and we'd have no wheat. Well, that didn't quite happen. Now granted, we're seeing pasta shortages, but see, I've been looking into that. And do we have durum wheat? Because see, that's a special wheat that's just grown for pasta. Would you like to know the real truth? And maybe would you like to know the real truth by what you're seeing on your shelves, not only in pasta, but all kinds of things. I can tell you what it is, and I can tell you the principle, where it stopped, almost every day throughout the world. Would you like to hear about all that? You see, it all comes down to time management on how I do different videos. And yeah, people think doing YouTube is so easy. You just get a camera, you go out and run your mouth. Oh yeah, that's how it all works. And they pay you a fortune for it too. I know, because I had a few comments back on the last two Fast Food Fridays where, you know, I was all accused of being a con artist, moaning and groaning and begging for money. Well, I know they don't watch many of my videos, because I know that's not true. I share my life and what I want to. And because of many of you who ask about it and are concerned, from time to time I share the real of my health and what have you. But as you always know, nothing's ever expected of any of you, and nothing's required. It's basically free. And then there's the people that feel too entitled to watch a few ads, because see, that's how you make money on YouTube. And I can tell you, I can tell when people are watching some ads and when they're not, because my advertising rate goes way, way down, which has been happening here of late, because I guess people just don't want to be bothered by watching some ads. So we're getting close to home now, and if you would like to, and I've said this many times before, all you got to do, if you would want to, is give us a thumbs up. It really helps out the channel and the logarithm and all that. And, you know, share it to somebody you think who might enjoy it too. And always watch the video if you can and don't mind all the way through. Hey, go get a snack sometime, okay? So, you know what they say, one cruel word can ruin your day. And that's what those hateful comments did for me for a couple of days. And you might have noticed I didn't do a video for several days. It just sort of knocks the steam out of yourself, you know, the wind out of your sails. It makes you question the reason why. And I'll be honest, I didn't used to count on anything from YouTube as far as monetarily wise, but I'll be honest, with the prices where they are, that's why I wish we'd all take a stand. Even now, I do, primarily for my kitty crew and my feathered friends. Thankfully, I saved a little and was able to cover the costs for my hospital stay. Well, here we're back. Let's see, that didn't take long. And there's the kitty crew waiting for Papa to come home. So there, that's what we got for you. Not much today, just a little countryside ride in the deep south of Alabama, because the sun's getting low and the temperatures will start to drop. And here in a little bit, I got to put together the kitty crew chow for their evening meal. So hey, until kitty crew, Gracie, you know them all, Cleo, Spooky, Speedy, every once in a while Heathcliff, and Major Fluffy Muffin too. See y'all on that next video episode of Mr. Tom's Neighborhood. Remember, give us a comment, tell us your thoughts, give us a thumbs up, and share if you'd be so kind. Other than that, that's all that's oh yeah, don't forget, watch an ad or two, make a snack, get a cold drink. It'll really help us out. And other than that, it's all we'd like for you to do. But we do appreciate, from the very depths of our heart, everything you've done for all of us here. And may God bless you all as you bless those in your lives. Goodbye for now.